Do you know the really, really frustrating thing about this, Duke?
You've
Guess what?
not uploaded the thing, have you?
Yeah. I've been, as I said to you before we went live, I've been running around like a blue ass fly today, and I've got it. I just haven't uploaded it yet.
I
So
love it.
yeah.
Oh, quick! Get it
God.
uploaded now and chuck it in halfway through the show. It won't matter.
Yeah, but we can always edit it out, surely, can't we?
Jesus.
They'll never notice.
I don't know, but my chair just went all the way back in a really weird kind of really leany kind of motion. Wow, I weren't ready for that. I've nearly
Yeah,
shown the
you and me both, mate. You and me both. And guys watching, please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, comment on and share it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon for alerts on new content. And as always, thank you for your support.
Indeed.
Duke, now,
Yes, sir.
we're here to discuss a little matter of us taking on the champions of Europe tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we're in great form the last 3 games. It has to be said.
Why you got to start? Why you got to start causing problems? Like, seriously. Why do you have to be that person? The grand scheme of things.
Well, no, I thought I'd get it out the way. Get it, get the crap out the way.
There's getting shit out of the way, and then there's you being you, and like you do things to wind me up, and I'm pretty sure, right, in the grand scheme of things, you've done that to wind me up, haven't you? Oh, yes. No, wait.
Hang on, what are you doing? Hang on, you're not supposed to be advertising that now, are you?
I'm not.
Or am I allowed to tell people that bit?
Hang on. Carry on anyway. Do your bit.
Hang on. Oh, I think I know what you're doing. I think I know what you're doing.
You do your bit. Go on, carry on.
I could take a reasonable guess. So
just carry on.
Yeah, but listen, last 3 games have not been great, it's fair to say, but it would be a typical West Ham thing, wouldn't it, Duke, for us to take to the pitch. We've had poor run of form, poor run of performances in the last 3, and for us to turn up tomorrow in a game against the champions of Europe and turn them over. It would be a typical West Ham thing, wouldn't it?
I mean, listen, right, let's not stick around in the grand scheme of things. It's us. And we are more than capable of one of 2 things, really. We're either fantastically great at nosing it up.
Yep.
Or we're fantastically great at doing the things that we shouldn't do. Yep. And right now, right, I don't doubt that we've got it in us to do the things that we shouldn't do. You know, a few weeks ago against Liverpool was one of them things that we shouldn't do. Yet there we were doing it. You know, the game against Wolves a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
The game against Brighton on Wednesday. Something we shouldn't be nosing up, but totally nose it up anyway, because it's us.
It's the West Ham way.
Yeah, I mean, listen, no one's given us 2 hopes, and I'm not quite sure whether our friend of the channel is in today. I haven't seen him crop up in the last few moments, old Iron Man TV. But grand scheme of things, it's a throwaway game. It'd be like the City game. I know I'm having a
free hit, as it's called.
Yeah, no, see, yeah. But if we're going to be competing for 4th, these shouldn't be a free hit. Do you see what I mean? So it's kind of it's a catch-22. I'm kind of looking at the situation, going, it is what it is. Well, you know, am I going to be pissed off if we lose tomorrow? It depends on how badly.
If we have a performance, then I don't think we can at least take that out of it, can't we?
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, grand scheme of things, right, is, I'm going to lift my chair up, hang on. So, grand scheme of things, we've got, there you go, that's better. We've got a Chelsea side that, in fairness, were expected to turn United over the other day.
Yeah.
A United side that have 1-2 drawn 1 under Mr. Carrick, who's now left the side, and hopefully, this is how I would have liked today to have gone, Mr. Gates.
Yep.
This is how I would have liked today to have gone. Yeah, hello. Can we speak to Michael Carrick, please? Yeah, hi, Michael. It's David Moyes at West Ham here. Would you like a job on my coaching team? You would. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll see you Monday. Great.
How do you know that hasn't happened? I mean, he
Right.
said he wants to spend time with his family. Maybe when he spent time with his family.
Well, listen, West Ham are his family. Fuck United. Right. No, I mean, listen, I'd love to see him come over to West Ham on the coaching because he's a fantastic person. Got a lot of time for him. Are you? Listen, all I can hear is what tweets are you sending out? What Facebook messages are you putting out there, Stan? Come on, tell us.
I'm just letting people know that we're here because, as I said, I was rushing around and I haven't had a chance to do all of the bits.
We've got one person watching, and Mr. John is in the chat.
I know.
Right?
I can see him. Look,
he loves to tweet. He's just corrected himself. He loves to tweet, doesn't he? But no, listen. Turn up. That's all I want to do tomorrow is turn up, Mr. Gates. And you know.
Yeah. And that's all I ever want them to do.
Yeah, listen, I don't expect us to fucking set the world on fire. I don't expect us to set the world on fire. I just expect us to a degree to be able to compete. And tomorrow's one of them games where I just want to return up and try and compete. If we pick up a point, we pick up a point. If we don't, we don't. And if we pick up all three, absolutely banging. And will be a fantastic start to the weekend for me. Not gonna lie.
And obviously it's a lunchtime kickoff as well, so you then have the rest of the day if we manage to get a result to really enjoy it and have a couple of bevies. Yeah. Well. And what pub? Right. Now, I'll tell you what. I am going to mention this, Duke, because I had someone. Let me just have a look. This was on the Instagram page that we've got. There was a gentleman that was in dialogue with me, and I said, and I may well be popping there tomorrow, I'm going to give a shout out to a pub because I know that this is an industry that's close to your heart. It's a pub in Stratford. It's called the Greyhound. And I'm going to give it a shout out because I said I would. So I haven't done any other bits and pieces because, forgive me, as I say, I've been rushing around. I've had all sorts of things. But the Greyhound pub in Stratford, to give it, guys, their postcode is E15 4PT. If you're looking for somewhere, they are a family pub. So please get down there. If any of you are watching that are in the vicinity tomorrow that fancy a quick pint of shandy or a bag of pork scratchings or something like that, they'll be able to look after you. There's been a couple of messages between me and the staff there, and I can. I'm going to try and pop along there tomorrow, and I'm going to try and sort of like I'm going to have a look. I've had a look, and it is to say it looks like a good family boozer, and we need, as you would know, Duke. You know, the pub game. It's a really it's been quite an attritional trade for probably, I don't know, 20 years or so. There's been an awful lot of pubs that have been closing. So the family boozers that are out there, we really need to try and support them and get behind them. And I'm sure Walshy would do that as well. I'm sure he will pop along to the Greyhound at some point in Stratford for a light ale or two.
Listen, as soon as you brought up the hospitality industry,
yes. I thought it might segue into something else.
Segue?
Do you like
segue?
I don't just, I do plan things sometimes.
I have changed the banner, sir, as you may well have seen.
Do you want me to put it up?
No, I'm still editing said banner.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of ballsed up. There we go.
Well, you can have an orange juice, Walshy. You can support the pub and BT Total. It's not a problem.
Well,
I'll welcome you.
I have a coffee machine at my new boozer.
Your new boozer, Duke?
I said my new boozer.
Your new boozer? I thought you was the manager of the Bull at Dartford.
Well, I was, and still am for a little bit. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, and the three of you that are in the chat and those watching later on, are going to get a bit of an exclusive. So I've kind of alluded to it over the last few weeks. Things have not gone exactly to plan for me at this wonderful establishment. I still am at right now for the time being.
Yep.
But I had been applying for new pubs, and today got some good news I shared with Mr. Gates and some family and some friends that I've been accepted in a new job, Rob.
Thank you. You
As
have.
you know.
You were always nailed on to get that, mate. I'm telling you.
I don't necessarily buy into that, but
Yo.
it is this lovely place just here.
Ta-da!
So hopefully in the next few weeks this becomes a now it's nailed on anyway. I was offered the job today, and hopefully I shall be taking this on momentarily. It's part of the craft union section of Stonegate Pub, so I'm leaving Green King. So just to give you an idea, for those of you, there it is.
Yes, drove past it today, funnily enough.
Did you really?
I did. Drove past it this afternoon. I was working. I had one call in Brockley, and then I had another call in sort of like Lewisham, Lee Green. So I had to drive past it on the A20.
So it is actually on. It's number one of the high road.
Corner of that and Belmont Hill.
Yes. It is granted in enemy territory.
Yeah.
But that being said, I was over there a few weeks ago for my birthday. It's a lovely boozer, and it is exactly that. It's a boozer. It seated probably about 50 people. It doesn't do food, Rob. It's just a drinkers pub.
Yep.
Six large TVs, two skyboxes allowing you to show two different bits and bobs at a time. Big pool area, which I'll look to maybe adapt into a sports zone. Large property upstairs, obviously, for me, the missus, and the two kids to have somewhere to live. So, fantastic, really. Some real good news come out of today. I've been waiting on it since about 9 o'clock this morning. Got the nod just after 4 o'clock. So, a little bit of work to do with regards to paperwork to fill out and a limited company to set up under the name of Full Tremine. So yeah, some great news and some fantastic opportunity for me to move on and move forward. So I'm buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
Is that where you're at, Walshy? You're at Reading Way. Oh, okay, that's cool. I got some family out in Reading.
Anywhere near the Medeski to go see Andy Carroll with Hannah
Tilehurst. I got some family. My mum's brother moved out to Reading many years ago. So Walshy's saying he's pleased for you. So as am I, and as am everybody. Everybody sort of like in the Ford family. Listen, you and I, obviously, we've spoken about the situation as it's unfolded over the last couple of weeks, and I've got to be careful what I say because obviously certain bits of it is very personal to you. But what I will say is obviously the situation came around in unfortunate circumstances and circumstances that in an ideal world you wouldn't have wanted. But in a funny sort of way, it's actually come good for you because I think that this could be a really good opportunity for you going forward. So, and it may have been that this opportunity wouldn't have come your way if what happened hadn't happened in a funny sort of way. So good has come out of bad.
This is something perfect for me. I mean, I've spent the last 7 years running a pub with an extensive food menu. Some could say it's a bar restaurant. I've really struggled over the last 18 months to 2 years, obviously with COVID and everything else. And about 18 months, 2 years ago, I was looking to take a leap and walk away, Rob. So in grand scheme of things, what's happened has done me a favour in a way because it's given me the opportunity to now probably live that dream of running a boozer, shall we say. And it is a boozer, be all and end all. I told my son earlier, he gave the biggest cheer out of my entire family for the fact that he now gets to find a new bedroom. So, be all and end all. It's good. But listen, we're not here for that. We're here. We're 15 minutes in,
but we thought
and we're
we'd
here for
share
a
it
game
with
tomorrow.
our.
Yeah.
We thought we'd share it with our full family.
And listen, as and when it all comes to fruition, and hopefully within the next 10 to 14 days, I find myself with a slightly different background and slightly different room that I'm currently sitting in to do my videos.
Better internet.
Let's not fuck about. Probably not. But hopefully slightly smaller walls. This is the problem I've got. Is the fact that the walls in this gaff are about so thick.
Yeah, they are.
And my internet connection doesn't reach. So I kind of,
I think there's nuclear fallout shelters that I've seen with thinner walls.
Yes, I think you have a point. Worryingly, yes, I think you are right as well. If something does happen, I'm coming back here.
Yeah.
And hiding in the cellar.
Yeah.
But no, like I say, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a real positive move for me. Certainly for the family. Looking at it, there's a distinct possibility that I'll be able to spend more time with the missus and the kids. Whether or not after the last 4 weeks that they've had of me, they want to spend more time with me, is a different story. But you know what? Every cloud calmers a bit, all the rest of it, and you know what? I'm where I am now because of hard work that I've done previously. So now I'm going to reap the benefits and enjoy what comes.
Do you know the only real sad thing about it? This boozer's not in walking distance for me anymore.
No, I'm afraid not. But you know what? Listen,
but I work around that area quite a bit, so you never know.
I'll tell you what, though. Okay. And it's been brought to my attention from a couple of other people that know the situation today, okay, and that are as equally pleased for me as you are. Someone did turn around and tell me that the Lewisham Tavern is now where they're going to watch England win the World Cup next year. So what more do you want, boys and girls? What more do you want? This is where England. He told me this is where he's going to watch England win the World Cup next year. So
why not? Why
you
not?
know what? And it's and the fact that it's a boozer, Rob. The fact that it is a sports boozer. High footfall for the football. I am going to try and bring in some other sporting activities. I mean, you know me. I like my baseball. I like my NFL. So I'm going to try and bring these into play over there as well. So.
You're going to have to explain American football to me because it's a sport that I've just never got. I've watched it and it just seems really stop-start, and I'm like, what's going on?
It is. But once you begin to understand the tactical nuances of it, as I said to you the other day about I used the baseball analogy, didn't I? Pitcher's duel against Brighton. Again, if you can understand the tactical side of NFL, you'll enjoy watching it a lot more. So we will have to sit down before I do the off. We will have to sit down some time and put. I'll put you together a little manual that you can use to watch NFL.
Idiot's Guide to American football.
Basically.
And hand it to me. Right.
Listen,
we crack.
We might have to do a couple of NFL videos. What do you reckon?
There might be an audience for it. Who knows? But should we crack on?
Let's go.
Nearly 19 minutes. Okay. I've cobbled together. Yeah, listen, we just have a nice little chat, and it's quite light-hearted and all the rest of it. We chat about football and we chat about life and general stuff.
We do what we do, right?
Yeah, we fly by the seat of our pants. Oh dear. One question, Iron Man. Where's the donation? 50 quid donation. Come on. Where is it? Is it? I can't see. Is there anything in the Fool's Talk? Go and have a look. Is he screenshotted his donation? Is he screenshotted it?
That. He's already started. So he's going in a timeout for 5 minutes. He's already started for it. I can't be bothered.
No.
I get I get people being. I get people being quite straightforward, and he doesn't think we're going to get anything. But the fact that he's started to call people delusional, and I'm not going to have it. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
You can turn around and I've got no qualms with him turning around and saying we're going to lose. He doesn't think we're going to win. I've got no problems with that. Got no problems with that whatsoever. But start calling other West Ham fans delusional or offering them out like you did in one of the other streams. I'm not.
Do you know what? Delusional. That's a matter of opinion. But when you actually turn around and say definitively we will lose all 3 games, and then we don't because a draw isn't a defeat. It's not a win, but it's not a defeat. So therefore, you make good on your promise that I'm going to buy everybody a kit and I'm going to clean your house and I'm going to clean your car. And I'm then going to turn around and go, I tell you what, I'll be fair. You make a 50 quid donation to Isla's fund and we'll call that quits.
No, he can buy me another Time Julian shirt if he wants. It's not a problem.
No. I think Isla's need is greater. You can't argue with that.
Well, I could raffle the second Julian Dick shirt, couldn't I?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep an eye. The Fools Talk Twitter account. I expect to see a direct message with a screenshot with a 50 quid donation to Isla's Just Giving page. And if I don't, then quite frankly, Iron Man TV, you are shown the red card as far as Fools from Iron is concerned.
Oh, he's already received a couple of yellows again.
Yeah. Well, I'll be handing the red out. So there you go. Because you know me, I feel quite passionately about this particular fund. Anyway.
Most definitely, and I'm with you on side on that one.
This is the team that I suspect Mr. Moyes will go with, and obviously you can run the rule over it, Mr. Duke.
No.
Lucas Fabianski. You're just doing it to be contrary, you bugger. Lucas Fabianski in goal.
Say, if you're asking me to be David Moyes, the answer is no to that lineup. But go on, I'll tell you why.
Right, okay. Lucas Fabianski in goal.
Yes.
I suspect Cresswell will come back, and I think he will be absolutely vital because of his deliveries. Simple as that.
Yes.
Now, I suspect it will be Zuma and Dawson. However, me personally, I think I would rather have Zuma and Diop and have Diop as the left-sided centre-back and move Zuma back across the right. That's my opinion, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think Ben Johnson will be dropped down to the bench, and I think Vladimir Kufau will be in at right-back. Yes. Well, we'll see. Double pivot in front, standard. Declan Rice and the goal scorer from the other night, Thomas Souček. Pablo Fornals on the left, Jared Bowen on the right, and I think Manuel Lanzini will come in at the expense of Saeed Benrahma. And the only reason why I think that Antonio will play is because we don't have anyone that's going to be replacing him. Duke, over to you.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is I don't see Sufal coming in. I think he's going to pick Johnson. And I don't see him dropping Benrahma for Lanzini. I just don't see it, Rob, unfortunately. And as much
really,
I just don't, mate. I don't see it.
Even though he put in a performance the other night that we discussed was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't see him. I don't see him dropping Benrahma for Lanzini. I just don't.
What's your reasoning for that?
But mate,
because he showed that he can hook him and substitute him and sort of start him from the bench last season quite regularly.
There's a difference between taking Benny off for the last 20 minutes and bringing on Lanzini than starting Lanzini, and I just don't see that Moyes will make that change. I think everything else is spot on. I think Cressy will come back. I think Dawson will start. I don't think Sufal will. I think we'll have Johnson in there. And I think we'll have Benny in that gap there. Now, that being said, Kent's turned around and said that he feels that he'll drop out Antonio if it was him. But Kent, do you see him doing that? Do you see Moyes doing that? Now, I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with Kent. And I would see Antonio and Benrahma drop out for Lanzini and
Crowell.
In fact, maybe Crowell and play a 3 across the middle. Antonio and Benny for Crowell. But honestly, Kent, do you see Moyes actually doing that and dropping Antonio out? as much as we've sit here and said it, and I'd love to see him have the balls to be able to do that tomorrow, and I'd love to see him have the cojones to make the drop of Antonio and Benny out. I just don't see him doing it. I don't see him having the testicular fortitude to try something like it.
But then,
Sadly.
I don't know. I mean, I think that David Moyes is a manager that if it's a question between him getting a result and keeping, a player or players sweet, I think the result has to come first, and I think he would absolutely make the call if he believes it's there to be made. And for me, Ben Rama, and I'm a Ben Rama fan, so this is not hate, but
not hate, it's an opinion.
But it's a genuine footballing opinion from someone that was at the ground on Wednesday night and watched it unfold in front of his eyes. No, I know, but I paid my money and I went there and I watched it in its entirety, and the performance was shocking. Seriously shocking. As I say, 75 minutes, 24 touches of the ball, a 54.2% passing accuracy. And Manuel Lanzini in 15 minutes had 18 touches of the ball and a 94.4% passing accuracy. So
it's just not good enough from Ben Rama. Again, he's back, and I'm going to allow him to stay for a bit, but he's right in what he says. Ben rubbish.
Yeah, he was. He was.
It was shocking.
Well, or does he? I'll take it. He's talking about Ben Rama, not Ben Johnson.
Yeah, no. We'll find out in a minute. He'll crop back up again in a second. I just want to see us turn up, Gatesy, win, lose or draw. I don't want to see a performance that I saw against Brighton because I just Brighton. I get giving Chelsea a bit of possession because they're Chelsea and the Champions League winners and top of the league, and they look like they're going to be there and thereabouts the rest of the season. But
exactly that, Ken. Agree with you there, 100.
Booming. I just can't. I just can't. I can't sit back and watch us put in another shit performance, Rob.
No.
If we lose 2-1 tomorrow, then so be it, as long as we show. As I said the other day, last weekend when we lost to City, 1-0 was a fair response, fair result. Mm-hmm. They got the second. I did think 2-0 was a fair result.
You didn't,
so therefore, no, I didn't. I didn't think 2-0 would have been a fair result for us to lose, which is why when Lanzini got the goal at the end of the game, I felt that gave the scoreline a more fitting look.
A veneer of respectability.
Yeah. Again, I want to see us play Chelsea. And what bugs me is that we don't have a plan B. Unfortunately, Iron Man, I've got to say, and for those who watched this channel last season or from February, will know that I was very staunch against some of the comments that were coming out against Benny last season. He's the greatest player we got. He's outstanding. He can't do no wrong, etc., etc. And I had a video all set up that was based around the facts and figures of Ben Rama last season. Now, that being said, this season in the opening probably 5 or 6 games, Benny was one of our best players in the league. 5 or 6 games, Benny was one of our best players on the pitch. He was outstanding. He really was in the first 4, 5, 6 games of the season. That being said, he has died off now, and so has Antonio, and there needs to be a kick up the arse for these players. So I'm certainly not going to say that he's a flop. I'm certainly not going to say that this team isn't as good as our fans make out, because for me, that's just goading, and we need to behave ourselves a little bit.
How about that comment?
Yes.
I think at the minute, right here, right now,
I can't
Jesse
believe I just said it.
Lingard.
I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
But no,
The only thing that concerns me with that statement, though, is that we're looking at the Jesse Lingard that played for us for a 6-month spell last season. Is that Jesse Lingard still there? Because obviously, he's not really got much of a. Obviously, he scored the goal against us at London Stadium in the league game, but he's done precious little else.
Mate, I made a comment back in August when I was talking about a certain CR7.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm quite happy to sit here right now and say currently I'm eating my words. He scored his 800th goal last night in football.
He did.
And
he's 801st.
Yes. And I turned around and said he'd be lucky if he hits 20 goals in all competitions this season. I think he's halfway there, is he not?
I think so. Yeah.
If he's not, he ain't far off, mate, and we ain't even halfway through the season. And I was saying he was done. I think a lot of players were saying he's done. No, stop talking shit, please. Just stop commenting. It'd be a good start. Because I'm going to destroy you every fucking step of the way with your comments. Behave yourself. Engage your brain before you open your mouth, please. That's all I'm asking. Listen. As I said in a video the other day, I feel that the Lingard deal is almost done for January.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I really think it's already done.
Oh.
You think he's done? Or because I thought he was done, I was talking nonsense? Because you're saying...
have you seen the next one?
Yeah, I'm going to ignore him for now. If you're saying that because I thought he was done, I'm talking nonsense, fine. If you're saying he is done and I'm talking nonsense, then you need to give your head a wobble. If you think I don't know nothing about football, you need to give your head a wobble. I didn't want Lingard back because I felt he turned us down and we should have moved on. We need him back, and I'm willing to concede that. Ronaldo is still class. He has flashes of class, yes. He is not 100% class 100% of the time now.
He's 36 in fairness. I mean,
listen, I'm taking nothing away from him, Rob. I'm taking nothing away from it.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'm saying is he doesn't do it consistently as he used to. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's finished. I'm saying that he shows flashes. Thank you, Sharky. Moving on.
Okay. I've put together what I believe the Chelsea... Do you know what? They've got a few people that are out with injuries. They've got a few people that are like, maybe not. And the squad is so deep. Do you know how difficult it was for me to try and second guess what Thomas Tuchel is going to do tomorrow? It's honestly.
Yeah, but there's a reason he earns thousands of pounds a week and we don't.
Yeah. Absolutely. There we go. That's what I suspect he's going to go with. Mendy in goal, who for me has been an absolutely fantastic signing for them. When you consider that Kepa Arrizabalaga was 75 million quid. I think he was a world record or very close to it for a goalkeeper. And for me, he nowhere near justified the price tag. This geezer's come in and he's looked absolute class between the sticks. And his distribution as well. Just watch him. He's quality. Back three, I think it will be Tony Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Cesar Azpilicueta as the back three. Although Dave. Although it could be Andreas Christensen, who knows? I suspect Reece James will play, but if Reece James doesn't play, then I rather suspect Cesar Azpilicueta will be where James is on that diagram, and it will be Christensen coming in the back three to fill in that gap. No, I don't think he will. Alonso as left wing back, Jorginho, and I suspect Loftus-Cheek. I don't think Kante will make it tomorrow. But to be fair, Loftus-Cheek, he's someone that has done quite well historically against Declan Rice. So I think from Chelsea's point of view, that won't be the worst, worst sort of situation to have. And then the front three, in my opinion, will be Callum Hudson-Odoi, Lukaku, and Ziyech. I think Mason Mount won't be starting against his best mate. What say you, Duke?
I mean, listen, I watched them the other night against Watford, and I've got to say, I watched them against Watford. I watched, obviously, the sections after our game, about half hour. And I felt Watford were hard done by, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
From the highlights and everything else, I thought Watford were hard done by. Now, that being said, I know Lukaku was injured, wasn't he, for a little bit, which is why Werner was starting. Sorry, I had to get up and get another beer. I felt that he was always coming back against us because he just has a fucking habit of scoring against us. He does, and it winds me up. I feel slightly sorry for Timo Werner because I love Timo Werner. I had a lot of time for Timo Werner, as everyone knows that watches his channel.
Yeah.
Huge Bundesliga fan, huge Timo Werner fan sitting here.
Would you take him at West Ham? Do you think he'd fit?
All day long.
Why has it gone wrong for him at Chelsea?
Because I feel that he's come out of a side. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you who it reminds me of.
Go on.
Fernando.
Who?
El Nino.
Oh, Torres.
I think he's come out of a side that plays a certain way.
I thought he was on about the old Manchester City central midfielder.
I think he's come out of a side that plays a certain way, and pretty much played to his strengths. Let's not dick around. Liverpool did with Torres, and Borussia did with Werner. Played to his strengths. You know, Ajax are currently playing to the strengths of a certain Mr. Sebastian Haller.
Mm-hmm.
Look how that's working out for you. Now, he's coming to a side that doesn't, and he's having a mess. Pardon me, hiccups. He's been played on the left wing for a substantial amount of his time under Frank. So I really feel sorry for him, and I'll take him tomorrow, mate. I think he's a natural born goal scorer. He's a natural centre forward. But part of me is kind of hoping that they play him tomorrow, if I'm honest, because I don't want Lukaku fucking doing it. Now,
11 in 15, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I look at that team, and the one poor player that I would have picked without watching Chelsea this season, okay, just by going by social media, highlights, etc., is their number 22 out on the right wing. Right? Ziyech.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to Chelsea fans and you watch highlights, and he seems to be their poorest player. And then I watched him against Watford the other day, and he looked sharp. He looked quick. He looked like he had a desire. And I was like, so what am I actually seeing here? Am I listening to Chelsea fans that when Declan Rice wears a West Ham shirt and he puts in a performance for West Ham, you see Chelsea fans, United fans, all banging on, come to us, you're amazing, you're wonderful, you're fantastic, you're great, we love you, we love you, we love you. And then when you see Declan Rice put on an England shirt and West Ham fans praise it, all Chelsea fans and Man United fans do is, oh, it's overrated, it's shit. It only passes sideways and backwards. It's crap. We don't want it. Put on a West Ham shirt. Oh, same people, Declan Rice, we love you. Fat. Now, tell me I'm wrong, right? And I'm trying to work out whether it's the same with Ziyech, right? As I watched Ziyech the other day, and I thought he looked sharp. I thought he looked decent. And yet all I read about him is that they're shit. Like, he's awful. I saw the rumours that Kante was going to be back. You've obviously ruled him out of this one a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's too early.
But then I
don't think he
also
makes
agree
it.
with you with what you were saying about Declan Rice's coming up against happy. Yeah,
They do,
he's the only
Peach.
one that seems to have bullied IFP. It's good to see him, mate. He's the only one that seems to have been bullied by or has bullied Declan Rice in a game. So it wouldn't surprise me. I hope to a degree that certain arguments are put to bed tomorrow. A certain Italian number 5 in that Chelsea side is described as being, worlds apart and high above Declan Rice on the talent scale. I cannot stand the little midget. I really can't. I hate him, and I actually don't think
No,
he's as
say
good
what
as
you
people
think,
give him.
dude. Don't sit on the
I'm gonna.
fence. Come on.
Oh well, I don't think he's as good as people give him credit for. I think he stands out in the Chelsea side because they make him look good. Declan Rice is, without being rude to the rest of the West Ham players, Declan Rice is heads and shoulders above the West Ham side. And I don't mean that rudely or anything else. And he outperforms with regards to the team on a regular basis. Whereas Jorginho, for me, was carried along in the in the Championship final against Italy by those that were around him. I think he was exposed at times. And Declan Rice, for me, up until the 75th minute when he was taken off, was man of the match. So hopefully that one will be put to bed tomorrow in the same way that McTominay was, that was put to bed during the start of the season. Who was the other one? Longstaff and Calvin Phillips. That was all put to bed.
Longstaff's out of contract, I think, in the summer.
No.
What?
I don't want him.
Okay.
No.
I wasn't suggesting that, but
good.
Okay.
Keep it that way. Shit.
I don't know about his shit.
Is he Declan Rice?
No.
Shit.
Just because he's not as good as Declan Rice doesn't automatically make him shit, surely.
Okay. Are you as good as Declan Rice?
No, but I'm not a Premier League footballer. Yes, I am.
Well, on it. So you just confirmed my argument. Now behave yourself. Anyway, back to.
Oh,
yes, Andy, you're right. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Well, he might get sent off tomorrow.
He might.
That might be a shout, actually. Cut the yellows for Alonso.
Do you know, I actually think if there's a weakness, he's probably it. I think he looks decent going forwards, but I think defensively he can be got at.
It's down there left full stop because Alonso and Rudiger, I know we want him, but he isn't the most solid of players, and he has a mistake or two in a game.
Yeah.
Especially if
Jared Bowen's going to be key then.
Yeah, well, listen, Bowen and
see, this is why I think this is why I think though that Tuchel will play, because I think Tuchel is better going forwards than Ben Johnson is. Yeah,
but then I think defensively, he's going to be coming up against someone like Hudson-Odoi. If he plays well, actually, no, that'll be coming down the right, wouldn't it? He's going to be coming up against the Reece James, and I think Ben Johnson's defensive side of things will keep James in check. Actually, no, I don't know. I can't even fucking work out what side the pitch are on. Reece James will be on our left, won't he? So he'll come up against Cresswell.
Yeah, he'll come against Cresswell. Yeah.
So Alonso, Hudson-Odoi and Alonso against Ben Johnson and a Jared Bowen could be very interesting. Very interesting. I think you might see an Alonso red tomorrow.
You heard it here first. Right. So, as they say, next slide, please. That's our head-to-head historical record. Now, I would argue, yes, we've got the wrong end of the one lost contest. However, what I would say to sort of balance that out is that if you consider that for the last 18 years, Chelsea have been financed by Roman Abramovich, and we haven't, I don't actually think that we're doing too bad.
How dare you?
What?
How dare you? Listen, they've been financed by oil and we've been financed by lube. Now behave yourself.
But that's true. Like the last 18 years, they've been backed by Roman Abramovich, and for us in all that time, I know that's 18 years of 100 or so years of battle, but that's 18 years of fixtures, league, cup, the whole lot, and we're only 10 games less than what they've won.
I don't think that's bad at all, mate.
That's not too shabby. I mean, if you compare it to sort of like our record against teams like Liverpool,
yeah,
that's infinitely better.
I thought it was going to be worse than that. I ain't going to lie to you.
Well, we've actually, I think they've only won 2 out of the 6 games that they've played at London Stadium. I think I read that correctly.
And that includes the cup game, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
That's right.
That was the first time, apparently, that the London Stadium felt like home. If I remember, apparently it was rocking that night. I think that was that possibly the first? Yeah, I think it might be the first season. Was it the first season there?
I think
and apparently it was rocking. The place was rocking, if I remember rightly, yeah.
And listen, I happen to think, as far as sort of like anyone questioning the atmosphere is concerned, if you get a performance, you'll get a reaction from the crowd, and it will feel like Upton Park.
I mean, mate, listen, I went to Upton Park several times. It felt like I was sitting in a mortuary.
There were times. I've been there a few times.
I think there's more times than people give it credit for. That place was actually an awful place to watch football because it was so quiet.
Could be. It could be, but it could also, on the flip side, be.
We give it credit.
Maybe. It's arguable. That's our last 10, Duke. There's 4 wins in there. And there's 4 defeats and 2 draws. So it's, again, the last 10, it's a pick'em, isn't it?
I mean, you look at the couple of games we've won there. You know, the 2 games, 1920 season. You know, the League Cup's the first one there, isn't it? So, I mean, yeah. If we play for a draw, it could be quite painful.
Oh yeah, we'll get roasted.
I'd like to think that Moyes won't do that. I'd like to think that Moyes will try and set us up to go out there and do something tomorrow. But then I said that the same the other day. I mean, we've lost the last 2. 1-1 draw. Really? I think we get a draw out of tomorrow.
My heart says that, but my head says a 2-1 defeat. But I've got no problem with a 2-1 defeat, providing it's aligned with a performance that I can take a bit of pride out of. If we perform the way that we did in the Liverpool game tomorrow, and we lose 2-1, I'm not going to be happy with the result, but I'll at least have something to grab onto. I'll at least have some sort of crumb of positivity to go, do you know what? It's our 3rd defeat in 4 league matches, but I can see signs of a recovery. I can see signs that things are starting to turn around. And we know, if we can get a 2-1 defeat against the champions of Europe and the team that, in my opinion, are going to be Premier League champions at the end of this season, I'd take that all day long.
I will.
What about the rest of you in the live chat? Come on. Walshy's gone 0-0. Come on, the rest of you. I think Kent said 2-1, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, and Peter's obviously said if we play for a draw, they're going to do us 2-0 or 3-1. So, but all you guys, get us in your score predictions. Don't be shy. I think it's the Nuggets that are next, Duke. Shall I have a look?
Bring them on, I'm hungry.
It is. It's the Nuggets. I got this right. We've won 3 of our last 6 home Premier League games against Chelsea. We've drawn 1 and lost 2.
There it is.
Which was as many as we had in our previous 14 such games against them in the competition, when we drew 3 and lost 8.
Yep.
Oh, Eric's got the same score as me. He thinks it's going to be a 2-1 reverse.
Hey, listen, you say sadly, as long as we turn up, and there's a key there, isn't it? It's turning up.
Yeah. But and I hope you're wrong as well, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope we can at least get a point, at least. But do you know something? Just before I go to the next nugget, my son's first match watching watching West Ham's not quite the right word. Their first game at a game of football was the game at London at Upton Park when Di Canio scored in his last game the season we got relegated, but they didn't watch it because my wife was pregnant with them at the time. So, and I always remember it because I used to sit at the front of the Bobby Moore Lower, and there was a steward there, and his name was Ron, and he obviously yes, that's it. Yeah. He could obviously see that Diane was very, very heavily pregnant with twins. And he looked at me and he went, "You do realise if we see this 1-0, this place is going to explode." Because obviously, don't forget, it was in the middle of a relegation battle.
Yeah.
And so he actually took her and put her the other side of the advertising hoarding, so that when it final whistle went, which obviously we did win the game 1-0, everybody sort of like was jumping up and down, and so she was safe, and the twins were safe, and it was all good. But yeah, that was their first game at a game of football. Huh?
You say they were safe, but I've met them both, and I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with the pair of them.
Well, you worked with one for a little while.
So you've not said I'm wrong, though, have you?
No. Shall I move on to the next nugget?
I love them both, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know.
I love them both.
Chelsea did the league double over us last season, though. They last won 3 in a row against us in the Premier League between March 2010 and April 2011. So it hasn't happened for a little while. So could that be something to grab onto, a little bit of positivity, perhaps?
Listen, the positivity, right, is the fact that we're sitting 4th in the league at the minute. Regardless, we go into this game tomorrow, 4th in the league. Forget all these little bits of nuggets and something that we can take away, and that gives us cause for hope, etc. Behave yourself, Peter. No negativity. We discussed this earlier. You missed it. Go back and watch. We're 4th.
Yeah,
we're 4th. Let's hold on to that. Let's just enjoy it. I'm gonna.
Yeah, why not?
And what you got?
Here we go. Here's another one for you. We have lost 2 of our last 4 Premier League London derbies, winning 1 and drawing 1, which is as many as we had in our previous 10 such games when we won 4 and drew 4. However, we won our last derby match in the competition against the Spuds, last winning consecutive meetings with London clubs in January 2019, which was a run of 3. Winning the Spuds is always a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, listen, again, I go back to we're 4th. Let's just enjoy it. Ride this motherfucker till the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
And if we do start to come down with the decorations, then we start to come down with the decorations. If we do manage to get something tomorrow, then we manage to get something tomorrow. Regardless of what goes on.
Oh, hang on.
Enjoying.
Look who's here.
What do you want?
All right, Logan.
I'm in the middle of a video.
Logan, you're in the middle of the video. Say hello to everyone.
The foundation is back.
The foundation is back. Are we talking about Fortnite?
Yes.
Okay, we're talking about Fortnite. Foundation is back, apparently.
Yes.
Ah.
Right, go ask Gracie to turn it on. It was Gracie.
Douglas, glad to have you here, mate.
Well,
narrow Chelsea win. As I said earlier, I've gone for a 2-1 Chelsea win. I've gone head over heart, sadly. But we'll see. Listen, if we put in a performance, that's all I'm interested in. Right? Okay, he's disappeared because I know people wanted to sort of like to say hello to Logan, so I thought I'd go.
He's back. Hang on.
Oh, is he back? Is he back?
I will.
Is he coming back in?
No, I haven't. Look.
Did you not? Oh.
Yeah, I'm on camera. What do you think I was doing?
I thought you were just sleep.
No, you're live, Logan. You're live. You're actually you're going out. You're going
you-
out
are
to
you doing that now?
millions of people around the world.
The 8 people. Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, I did. You were laying in Gracie's bed. Amy's bed. I don't know, but I am live, mate. I am doing a
I
video
bet they
right
don't
now.
get this
so-
on West Ham Fan TV, do they?
Yeah,
I mean,
you will see, yeah.
they're a professional outfit. Us pair of
Right.
tits.
Can you do me a favour?
Oh, that's too far.
That's your axe, yes.
Oh, it's
that's
your axe. Okay.
Right. Can you soddle off now? No, I've got.
Yeah, you're a little bit wonky, to be fair.
Yeah. I'll do it before you knock the. It's going to be fights in a minute.
Yeah, I don't ever remember seeing Nicky Hawkins have this problem, I've got to say. We're going to have to put someone... Hang on, that was the wrong button. I didn't want to press that button. I wanted to press that button. I think we're going to have to get someone on your door, Duke.
I'm going to get on air. I'm going to get an on air like neon light on the door when we finally go over look at them. I'm going to have an on air button.
Oh,
right, could you go out there and let me finish this, and I'll come and see you in a minute.
Bye, Logan.
Bye. Everyone says bye.
Yeah, everyone in the chat says bye. There you go. Right, let's get on with the Nuggets. Chelsea have won. Chelsea have won their last 7 away League London derbies, an all-time record in the top 4 tiers of English football. The Blues have kept 6 clean sheets in this run, with their only goal conceded coming via Christian Benteke in April. So we got our work cut out for us tomorrow. Defensively, they are really strong.
Yeah, listen. They're a Chelsea side that are currently top of the league. They're a Chelsea side that are current European champions. You can't take nothing away from them. No. They're a good side. They've got some good players.
I'd like to take their bank balance away from them.
Yeah, but then that being said, mate, we've got our own good players, and our own good players, if they turn up and Chelsea's don't, we've got a chance. We have a chance. There's no two ways about it. So, you know, let's not worry too much about what could be, what might be. Let's just look at it in black and white. They've got some great players. They're a fantastic side. They're top and they're champions of Europe. We've got some good players that if we turn up and they don't, we've got the opportunity. If we can keep them quiet, we've got the opportunity. So that's what I'm going to hold on to until 2:15 tomorrow. That we've got the shout. We have a shout, regardless of who we play. We were talking after Europa League games. We're kind of hoping for Barcelona or Dortmund to drop out because we want to play them. Do we really fancy our chances against them? Well, I do against Barca right now. Yeah, I really do. So if I know Barca are shit right now, but I still fancy my chances against them. So, let's enjoy it while it's running. Let's enjoy this season as we're going. We're 4th in the league. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Why not? Glass half full as always, Duke. You know me.
And it's going to stay that way, mate.
Yeah. Next nugget.
Bring them on.
Okay. We are winless in 3 Premier League games, drawing 1 and losing 2. Sorry, guys. Last having a longer run without a win in our final 4 matches of 2020 when we drew 3 and lost 1. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was that the last 4 matches of 2020? That was the sort of like the last few matches of the reign of Pellegrini, was it not?
Yeah, I think was that the that was the draw against Villa that kept Villa up, wasn't it?
No, the final 4 matches of 2020, not the season. It's the calendar year 2020, I think they're referring to.
Oh, right, okay.
Rather than 2020, 21 or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
no, it was, yeah.
So I remember because it was the 26th or the 28th of December we played Leicester, got beat, and that was when Golden Sullivan pulled the trigger on Pellegrini and brought in David Moyes. I've got a funny feeling that was that little sequence. So
yeah, it was, yeah.
There you go. Right, next Nuggets. Let's have a look. Chelsea have made 50 changes to their starting 11. Now, that is when you know that they've got a deep squad. 50 changes to their starting 11 and they're top. We've barely made any by comparison.
Yeah.
In the Premier League this season, the most by a side after 14 matches of a season since Manchester United in 2009 and 10, which was also 14 games. The only team to make 50 earlier in a season was Man United again in 2001-2, which was in their 12th game that they hit that particular landmark. I mean, that kind of illustrates what we're up against in terms of the squad depth. You know, there's no chance we could make 50 changes to a starting 11 in the first
Mate, we're
14
lucky if we can
matches.
make 12.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like I say, you just turn up tomorrow. Turn up and have a go. That's all I want.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as just picking up on that one, Pete, like I say, Kante may well play. I
Hopefully
personally
not.
think he won't, as I say, from the team that I put out earlier, but we'll see. It's fun trying to guess. As I say, it's fun. It's infuriating. It's quite nice when you actually get it right, and you've got 10 or 11 out of the starting 11 right. It's quite
Andy's
nice.
right though.
They do. Probably most of them are at Vitesse Arnhem. But then that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. It's the old thing, Duke. You know, they turn around and say, if you want to sort of like, you know, be successful at something, you find someone else that's done it and you copy them.
Yeah.
Now, all right, we haven't got the financial firepower to do everything the way that they have, but you sort of like you do it in a relative way. So there you go. What's Pete come up with? Rice, Krall, and Souček in midfield, and Diop in for Diop for Les. Go for 4-3-3. Okay.
Diop in for Dawson. That is Les Dawson.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to check. I wasn't sure you were, you know, up to speed and down.
Yeah, no. I knew he was talking about Les. So yeah, right. I think have I got more nuggets for you? Yes, I have. With 5 goals and 5 assists, Michail Antonio has been directly involved in 10 goals in his last 10 Premier League London Derby appearances. Antonio is the only West Ham player in Premier League history to register double figures for both goals with 11 and assists with 10 in London Derby matches. And yet, still some people think that he's crap. I don't happen to hold that opinion. I think he's in poor form, and I'll admit that, but he ain't crap.
I don't think he's doing what he should be doing right now. But again, move on.
Next one. Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel has won 8 of his 9 Premier League London Derby matches with 1 defeat, with the Blues scoring 17 and conceding just twice in these games. In English top flight history, the German has the best win rate in such games amongst managers to take charge more than once, with an 89% winning ratio. Ouch.
Yeah. I don't know
there is one more nugget.
Mate. I don't know what you're moving. That was scary.
There is another one, and this one's not much better.
No, please don't. No,
sorry.
Stop.
Against no side has Chelsea's Romelu Lukaku scored more Premier League goals than he has against us with 9. He could become the 7th player to net double figures against the Hammers in Premier League, which would be the most opposing players to score 10 plus against a side in the competition. We are the gift that keeps on giving, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure that was the last nugget. Yes. No, there isn't. Actually, no, this was the last nugget. West Ham midfielder Thomas Souček scored in his 15th. He scored his 15th Premier League goal last time out against Brighton and Hove Albion, with only Michail Antonio scoring more for the Hammers, 25, since Thomas Souček's debut in February 2020. Only 3 Czech players have ever scored more goals in Premier League history: Patrick Berger with 38, Milan Baroš with 28, and Thomas Rosicky with 19. So if he gets another 5, he goes ahead of Rosicky.
That ain't a bad shout, is it? Really, grand scheme of things.
He weren't a bad player, but he was dead unlucky with injuries, wasn't he?
Oh, he was very much so. Good player, very good player.
Yeah, but Duke, talk to me. So you're going 1-1.
Yeah, my heart's
Your heart say is it your heart saying 1 or what's your head saying? Come on.
No, I'm going to stick with 1-1. I think we can.
Yeah.
I think we can. If the crowd gets behind the players tomorrow, like we know they can, and we've seen previously, I don't see why we can't push and cause some problems, bully. I'm not being funny. If Antonio does what Antonio is capable of, if he starts and gets a rise out of certain players in that Chelsea side, they're going to get themselves a couple of stupid yellows, which then result in a red. And we could be, well, they could be staring down the barrel of a red card quite quickly.
Here's a question for you. And we've obviously mentioned them in the last couple of broadcasts that we've done. Antonio and or Benrahma. If they put in another performance like they've put in the last couple of games, can they possibly be in contention for the game that follows this?
Benrahma, no.
Okay.
Antonio, he's not going anywhere, mate, for the next 6 games. We said this yesterday. 6 games in the league, I think, and 2 games Europa League and a cup. And as I said yesterday, if you can't get yourself up for a cup game, cup quarter-final London derby against Spurs, you don't deserve to be anywhere near my starting 11. And if you play the kids in the Europa League now, that leaves you with 6. You've got no one to replace him for them 6 games, unless, like Kent has mentioned earlier, you do a little bit of a wobble around with with Tuchel going up top or whatever. But we're in a serious situation where, unfortunately, we don't have the strength. What are we going to do? Drop Benrahma and bring in Yarmolenko? What are you going to do? Drop Antonio and bring in Yarmolenko? I'd rather see Antonio play up front with one leg than Yarmolenko on the pitch. So,
how about Vlasic?
I'm not seeing enough from him right now.
Only one way we're going to find out, I guess.
Yeah. But then what we need to stop doing is we need to put him up front and stop dicking around with trying to put Bowen in there.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
any final thoughts before we sign it off there, my friend?
No, just we're still massive.
Yeah. By the way, do you know what? We just before we do sign off, I've got a little bit of bonus footage for you. You know, at the beginning I forgot to do something.
Oh yeah, you got the intro video.
Yeah, that's the intro video that I should have uploaded earlier, didn't, and started this stream without it, and went, oh shit. So there you go.
I like it though.
Never let it be said you don't get value for money here, people.
But now what you can do is what you should have done is just gone intro straight into outro video. Not even
intro straight into outro. That's like something they do on West Ham Random.
Yeah, I've met Peach. Love you, Peach.
Oh dear. Hang on, what's Walshy come back? I like Yarmolenko, and I would like to see him play and score against Chelsea. Listen, it might be an unpopular opinion, but if it's your opinion, mate, you are completely entitled to it. You've not called anyone deluded, so
I'd like to see anyone play and score against Chelsea. Now, regardless of who it is, So I mean, grand scheme of things, mate. I want to see a 1-0 win, 2-1 win.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see a 1-0 draw. I don't think it matters, to be honest with you. Just go out there and show up. Don't bend over backwards and be shafted. Just turn up, do a job. Let's have some fun. Let's go out there. Let's play for the fans that are going to be there. The fans that are there, get behind and make a lot of bloody noise. Let's turn, London Stadium into the stadium that it was for the cup game. Was it back in 2016? And you know what? Go out and do Peaches at it again. At least it ain't 47-0.
Well, It could always be worse, I suppose.
Capable.
But don't even go there. But anyway,
What
before
you
we sign off, I'm just going to
Do your
get this
best.
up there. Just two. I'm going to do two
Please.
little
You're
things
gonna do
before
two?
we. Yeah.
Oh,
Just a little first one's a reminder. Well, they're both reminders in a funny sort of way. Don't forget, if you're around Stratford, please do pop into the Greyhound and give them your support. As I say, they're a local family boozer to Stratford. I know there's lots of nice bars around Stratford in Westfield and all the rest of it, but this is a proper old school family spit and sawdust. Well, not spit and sawdust because I don't think it's allowed these days, but you know what I'm saying. An old school
A
type
boozer.
family boozer, a boozer. So, if you're anywhere in the vicinity, please feel free to pop in and have a look.
What
As I say,
crisps do they sell?
as I say, I'm gonna pop in there hopefully tomorrow if I can. If not,
Oh,
it'll
mate,
be the
you've got
next
to tell
home
me if
game.
they sell Golden Wonder. If they sell Golden Wonder, game on. That's a proper boozer set of crisps. Not your
I'll-
McCoys and your Walkers. Golden Wonder are pub crisps.
I'll
Boozer
be
crisps.
I'll be sure
Let
to
me
let you
know.
know. But give them your support, guys. And I would also like to encourage you to give your support to the campaign for Isla.
Yes.
As always, this is the one. Please, this is in the description below YouTube and Facebook. All you got to do is copy and paste it and put it onto your social media platforms. Get the message out there to your friends, your family, your followers, and all the rest of it. This little girl, 7 years of age, she has neuroblastoma. There ain't no treatment in this country. She's had a really rough time of it, as has her family over the last number of years. So please, let's try and come together as not. And like I say, I always say this: I'm not interested if you're watching this and you're not a West Ham fan. It really doesn't bother me. If you've got a heart, if you've got a family, if this is a situation where you're sitting there going, there, but for the grace of God, go I. Please get this out there, get the message out there. Let's keep the support behind this. Let's keep the momentum behind this. And if you're lucky enough to have some spare change in your pocket and go, actually, I can put a couple of quid into this fighting fund. There is a Just Giving link there. Please do. No donation is too small. And as always, we thank you very much indeed for your attention. Anything you want to add before I wrap it up there, mate?
No, you've nailed it there, mate. As always, we're continuing to try and raise that money. It's a fantastic cause. If you can help, please do. If you can't directly, then please, like Rob says, share it and add it to your social media profiles. Let's get the word out there and let everyone else know. And let's do our bit.
Absolutely. And there we'll end it. Duke, what are we?
Massive. Absolutely fucking massive, Rob.
There you go. And congratulations on the new job as well, mate.
Thank you very much, sir. Much
Come on, you
appreciated.
Irons.
Come on, you Irons.